Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us here. I prepared about 100 slides, so but I'll do it very fast. Um, okay. Well, Panama is a transshipment center. It's composed by 5 world-class ports, and we're aiming to become a logistic hub. So, okay, everything in the maritime sector in Panama, sorry to say that, is happening in the oceanic region, because that we have developed our transshipment center to service the whole Latin American countries. We handle cargo from 140 countries going to 188 countries all over the world in this transshipment center. And we have attracted the largest port operators in the world to do transshipment in Panama. This line you see here is the lines of the railroad, interoceanic railroad, and also the highway that go from coast to coast that help us to move containers from one ocean to the other to be transshipped all over Latin America. And also a black line going to the airport in the bottom, and the red line to the left hand going to Panama Pacific. So all of that comprises the network, the road and rail network that we use to move cargo in and out of Panama. And this is the Panama Canal expansion, already done. You have seen that picture many times. And this is the Pacific entrance of Panama. So one of the locks is this one, the Cocoli lock. And this is what you saw, the Panama Canal. And now we're trying to tell you that this is the dry canal, where all containers are handled, whether vessel to vessel in transshipment, or vessel rail vessel, or vessel truck vessel. So by 3 ports in the Atlantic and 2 ports in the Pacific. This one is going on an expansion now with 450 million US dollar investment. It's from Singapore, Port of Singapore Authority. This is Hutchinson Port Holdings that also handle Philipstowe here, Thameспort, Harwich. And this is also Hutchinson in the Atlantic. So Hutchinson owns 2 ports, operate 2 ports, one in the Pacific, one in the Atlantic. The railroad is operated by a U.S. company, Kansas City Southern Rail. And MIT is operated by SSA Marine, Stevie Dolan Service of America. It's a very large port operator in the U.S. and in the region, because they have also operations in Colombia, in Chile, and they're expanding in Latin America. And this is Evergreen shipping line, Colón Container Terminal. By rail, today we move about 8,000 container move of transshipment containers from the Atlantic to the Pacific, or vice versa, from the Pacific, mainly from the full containers from the Pacific to the Atlantic, empty containers back from the Caribbean area, the Atlantic, to the Pacific, going back to Far East. And this is the highway, recently finished, and where we are handling already 6,000 containers moved by truck. Transshipment containers, this is not domestic cargo. It's going through the system to go to another countries in Latin America, from the Pacific to the Atlantic mainly. Today we have 6 container berths in the Pacific and 30 container berths in the Atlantic. And after this development, it's going to be 8 container berths and 13 in the Atlantic, which is create an imbalance of container of port capacity. So, and then how this works? Well, main transshipment routes going to Panama. The trade from Far East dominates Latin America, so you can see this service from Far East to Panama. This is a post-Panamax vessel or neo-Panamax vessel, 13,000 TEUs capacity. This vessel operates 48 hours, have 48 hours operations in Panama, non-stop, with 8 container cranes. It's a huge operation, 10,000 container move handling in 48 hours. This is, oh sorry, what happened here? Oh. Not very easy thing, Liverpool technology. This is the second trade route. The second trade route for the same shipping line, Maersk. Maersk dominates the market in Panama. It's another trade route from Far East to Panama, but starting in Chile, going north. This is very interesting. It's a new trade route. I believe it has to do with a direct delivery service with transit time, and they change the system. Instead of coming from Mexico down to Chile, they start in Chile going north. It's probably only 1 month in operation, this road, but it's trying to compete with the direct roads that are probably have a more advantage for Chile cargo. And this is another one. As you can see, all of them touch Panama, and they all Neo-Panamax vessels, from 13,000 TEUs to 8,000 TEU vessels. Every week, these are weekly services. And these are the key for the transshipment to the region. And this is another one. And these one are the feeder roads in the Pacific, connecting the whole Pacific Rim. And this is the network in the Atlantic. Are some samples. Not all of them are here. Of course, there are more connections. And this accounts for 5,900 vessel calls, container vessel calls per year in Panama. And 16 container vessel calls a day. Every single day, average, you have 16 vessels there doing operations. And that's why you can see here Panama 26 worldwide position in maritime connectivity, the best maritime connectivity in Latin America, and the second one in the Americas after the US. Only USA have better connectivity than Panamanian port system. And this is how, more or less, is the market share of every port operator. Hutchinson in Balboa, 55%. MIT in the Atlantic, 25%. Then Cristobal, another port of Hutchinson, is 9%. You have Evergreen and PSA in Panama. PSA is a very new operation. Actually, they start operation in the year 2012. The port was built already, but they didn't start. And suddenly, Panama went to a labor strike, huge labor strike in the container business that collapses the port, and then PSA opened during that time. And this is how the market share of every shipping line is there in transshipment business. You can see how dominant is Maersk, and Nemetsi. Those two have the largest stake, 73% of the market, transshipment market. This is a sample from June, July, August, September, 4 months of data. As you can see, Evergreen, APL, CMA. But look at CMA. CMA is here. What I'm showing you this, because CMA now is a pre-qualified bidder for a new port in Panama. CMA is here, I believe. Yes. And then, same as the canal, how this works, what is the market, the cargo that we handle, mainly from China. This is a statistic of when the cargo is discharged, where the cargo is coming, from China, US, all Pacific is very dominant in this market, Chile, Ecuador, Peru, and Colombia, of course, and some other Asia economies like Korea. Brazil also have a lot of cargo coming out of Brazil through the transshipment center and then distribution in the region. Mexico as well. I've seen a lot of Corona containers in the data. I checked the data, it's a lot of Coronas. And Germany as well. And then where the cargo is going after being discharged in Panama. Top destinations are US. The traffic between South America and the US is very good 100 in Panama. And well, Chile appears here because cargo coming from China to Chile, from Far East to Chile, to Colombia, Ecuador, and Venezuela. Of course, a lot of cargo going to Venezuela from Far East, especially China. You know that they are brothers, politically brothers. And this is the Latin American market, 48 million TEUs, that we, of course, we try to handle as much as we can, because we're a transshipment hub. So any questions so far? No question, eh? It's very clear. I showed this presentation many times to him. Many times. And this is then where we move forward to this next project. This is another Neo-Panamax road that they don't call Panama, from CMA CGM. This is another one, but going through the canal and going back to Far East via a Good Hope Cape in South Africa. They return with empty containers. So they say, why to pay the Panama Canal tolls to going empty, with empty boxes? And they do this. This is another service from Evergreen, Costco, and Yangbin that they don't touch Panama today. Another Neo-Panama. It's another one from NYK, K-Line, and MOL. It's another one from Costco, one High Peel, Evergreen, and Yangbin. These services are all have been developed in the last 5 years. I personally have been in touch with them because they try to reach Panama, get some berth space, but there's no capacity today, and that's what is driving this project. The short capacity in the Pacific is pulling this project out. There are 4 pre-qualified big companies in this market. You know them: Maersk, APN Terminal, CMA, Terminal Link, I believe is the port arm, and Terminal Limited from MSC, and PSA. So you know these names, and these guys want to develop this port. I believe they have the cargo already, because this is not to develop and then try to see where the cargo is, especially shipping lines, right?
Just to make it clear for everyone, the sort of the bottom right, the very white space is the existing largest container port. The opposite side of the canal is an existing smaller container port, and then the big space above, that's sort of a yellowy colour, is the plan for the new 3rd container port on the Pacific Ocean. So this would be the 6th port on the Panama Canal.
Yeah, this port has 25 key cranes. Probably it's the largest crane density in the world. It's only 1,700 meters of quay. It's not a large port for 25 key cranes. You know that. And this is, as the ambassador says, the PSA facility that is expanding, and this is the one that the canal is promoting, and will receive the offers, the economic offer in February. Well, you know, this takes like 6 months to see who's going to be the winner, and another 6 months or more to develop the specs for the construction. So we will see some construction probably in 2018, in January, February, March, where Panama is the dry season, the summer. So that's the time that construction usually starts. And then we'll have this, a better port offer to the world, because this is transshipment. This is pure transshipment. 90% of today's cargo handling in Panama is transshipment. Only 10% is local. And this will increase the transshipment stake, of course. But this is what we call the dry channel. Panama, shipping line don't see Panama as one port. Especially if you consider that 1 million TEUs are handled by rail and by truck, from ocean to ocean, going to another destination or coming from another destination going out of Panama. So it's 14% of the traffic is rail and truck, and this will grow with the project, especially because the project have so huge interest because it's in the side of the railroad. So they are looking for that rail connectivity as well. And this is the future project, because Panama is going to be a transshipment center forever, unless I don't know what happened. And we have to see what happened in the future. Because how I see the project of, I mentioned to you, is that 10 years, 15 years, it's full. As soon as it's developed, it's going to be a good business. That same happens with the Port of Balboa. It was developed in 16, 17 years, and phase by phase was immediately occupied. Immediately. And then, of course, the dry channel or the land bridge, micro land bridge, if you like, is only 60 kilometers length. It's very fast connection. The train takes 1 hour from one ocean to the other, and the trucks, something similar. And what this means to Panama? Well, we are the maritime sector. After the canal is an official entity, and the private maritime sector is going to receive more vessels, more cargo, more crew. Panama is a place for crew exchange. Huge, about 80,000 people is exchanged in Panama every year, which make more job, more foreign exchange, more for Panamanians. But this is very important because this is a pure sector of export of maritime services. It's not a local economy that is driving this. In the case of the UK, this is all for export. And the Panama Canal itself is providing about 2.5 billion of foreign exchange every year, and the port system as well. So in this sector, we have probably an economy of 8 billion a year between the private sector and the Panama Canal. I'm going to this as a logistic index. Panama is aiming to become the hub of the Americas, the logistic hub of the Americas. And we are ranked number 40. This is an index that is evaluated every 2 years. It's number 1 in Latin America. Chile is next. But we are working to reach the top 10 because you see Netherlands they are called themselves, I don't know, the logistic hub of Europe and the entrance of Europe. And it's number 4 in the world rank. Singapore is number 5, the logistic hub of Asia. Dubai is the logistic hub of Middle East. So we are still, it's our challenge to go up in our logistic rank, improving our custom processes and regulations, especially for logistic cargo that is going through Panama. It's going to receive a value added in Panama. We have to improve a lot of, probably, we have a very well-ranked port infrastructure and also airport infrastructure. But we have to work on other index like the internal logistics services that provide by cargo agents, by trucking companies, and by custom brokers, which are part of this equation. Although, as Demosthenes says, for that cargo going to the free zone, in and out, you don't have to use any custom clearance. But they can give you a hard time in the gate, you know that. Always that can happen. So we have good relations with them. And there are 5 factors that are evaluated to rank you in this index, and we have to go up. So that's going to be our best marketing or best publicity to the world when we reach the level of the big players in the logistics area. And this is what Demosthenes showed you also before, the conglomerate of the Atlantic, where you have 5 world-class ports just servicing the free zone. It's a very good layout for any movement of cargo, especially logistic cargo, cargo in transit, cargo that is not going to the logistic market. The distance are very short. Actually, all of them, except this port have a gate with the free zone. So it's only 1 meter and then you are in the free zone. And this other port has another gate, but that is a little bit longer. It's probably 50 meters, but you can see there the gate and you can enter easily. But what's your relation with custom always? That's very important. at the end. Okay, that is the area of the Pacific, where we have the Port of Balboa, the new project, the development of a PSA facility, the Panama Pacific Logistic Area, and the canal have dedicated 1,200 hectares for future development of logistic services. So, as you can say, we have something which should be a good value for all UK investors and Liverpool people to watch how you can use this to expand your operations, to expand your business, to penetrate the Latin American market from this logistic and transshipment platform. And everything is happening here. Here is, what is, no, here. The 1,200 hectares are here. Still, greenfield, nothing happens there. The Panama Canal has commissioned a study to a logistic consultancy firm about how to make the best use of this area. Of whatever is available here for business, what is the best use in terms of logistic and maritime development. And that project will be probably released in 1 year time. And then we all know what else we can offer to the world. Oh, no problem with this. Okay, I did this exercise about the cargo going out of Liverpool that is handled in the transshipment center of Panama. But it's only a couple of months, but you are not very well positioned anyway. You have to see here, Felixstowe, Tilbury, other areas of the country. This is not actually the port of exit, but it's the town where the cargo is declared that it has been packed into a container. But from Europe point of view, the cargo that is handling in the transshipment center, you can see in 4 months of data analysis, which are the countries that are making better use of the transshipment center of Panama. And this is it. Any question? I'm very happy to do it.
Thank you very much, Rommel.
Good morning, everyone.